Hello, my friends. I'm Jackie Lora Jones from True Forgiveness Teachings, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how the Course has really changed my life. And when we start to recognize that this is a purely non-dualistic thought system, which means it recognizes God as the only reality, we think, wow, okay, right? What do I do with that? And how do I get back to that? And the Course is teaching that forgiveness is the way back. And it's such a wonderful practice, forgiveness. The difference is true forgiveness, as Jesus explains it in A Course in Miracles, is different than the traditional type of forgiveness that we're used to in the world, right? What we've been taught, maybe what we've been brought up with. And so what I have done in my life is really integrate the idea of God is the only reality, okay? But how do I live here now? And how do I get back to that? Our true state of perfect oneness in heaven, which the Course says we've never really left, but we're having a dream that we left. And slowly, through choosing the Holy Spirit or Jesus as our teacher, we're going from mindlessness, as identifying with the body and the world, to mindfulness, back to being the dreamer of the dream, back to at cause. And it's so interesting to know that the miracle in A Course in Miracles shows us who the dreamer is, brings us back to the mind. The miracle shows us who the dreamer is, and we shift our perception from the ego's way of looking at the illusory world to the Holy Spirit's way, the Holy Spirit's interpretation. And practicing forgiveness has been so beneficial for me, and what I've noticed is the personal self was transformed first. And as the Holy Spirit takes over your mind, you're gentler, kinder, looking at everyone the same, meaning we're all in fear here because, number one, we all believe we're here, which means we believe we've separated from our Creator. We've believed in the tiny mad idea of separation. And forgiveness is the way back. And how do we do it? Well, we have every opportunity, don't we? All around us, all the time. So we're always viewing, mentally reviewing what's gone by. We're mentally reviewing the symbolic contents of our own mind that we see out there in all of our special relationships. When the Course says special, that means our separate relationships, separate from our true one relationship with God in heaven. So that's where we start, out in the illusory world, forgiving all the symbols, all the pieces that we see out there. We forgive them for what they haven't really done. Why? Because we remember that it's our projection. The world is coming from us as a dreaming mind. It's not being done to us. So every time we get upset, every time we're anything less than peaceful, that's our opportunity. That's the red flag to say, you know what? Here's the way back. Here's my chance. Instead of furthering illusion, I can wake up from them by practicing true forgiveness and using all the scenarios that have been scripted out for me, everything I see out there, all my upsets with coworkers, family, friends, anything I see on the television screen, right? We use all those opportunities to go back to the mind and say, wait a minute, this person or this situation is showing me the contents of my mind, and if I'm upset, I'm in the ego mind. If I switch to the Holy Spirit, I'm not as reactive. I can say, okay, I'm using this upset, and I think of lesson 5. I'm never upset for the reason I think. And we can say, you know what? This person that seems to be upsetting me out there, this is what I use to remember, okay, I can go back to the mind and remember that I am the dreamer of the dream, and I'm dreaming this scenario. So true forgiveness says I forgive my projected images, which my brother or sister has shown me. I forgive myself for dreaming a world of separation in the first place. And now I let go. To the hands of the Holy Spirit, I can be at peace, remembering that I just recalled a bit of the projection by not making it real. So true forgiveness helps us remember not to be taken in by appearances, right? Because the body's eyes were made to see form, right? The section in the Course, the hero of the dream, the body is the ego's crowning glory. And everything we see and hear witnesses to the reality of the separation, because that's why the body was made. And what I've found in my life is, as I've practiced true forgiveness and practiced the Course, giving my day over to Jesus or the Holy Spirit, what happens is that my mind will retranslate everything I see now. And everything is used as a classroom to get me home. So my purpose has changed. My purpose for the world has changed. So it's not about denying anything except denying the ego's interpretation of what we're seeing in favor of the Holy Spirit's, right? And that makes all the difference. And so I go through my day and I know I'm going to have an opportunity where I'm not peaceful. Something happens. And no matter how big or small it is, that's the opportunity to say, wait a minute, I'm going to go back to the mind. Remember, I'm the dreamer of the dream, and I can forgive my projected images and myself for projecting them. And then the Holy Spirit's thought system replaces the ego thought system. And we're living normally in the world. We're just looking at everything differently. We're interpreting everything differently. And that's how we start. And that has made a big difference for me. So, be well and blessings all.